Welcome everyone to Cinema Regulars, the movie review show where we see so many movies in theaters that the employees know us by name and they don't ask us what movies we're seeing, they ask us how many. Now, today we are going to wrap up our 2025 movies by just speed running a bunch of them. So today we will be looking at Avatar 3, The Housemaid, Anaconda, the newest SpongeBob movie, David, and Dust Bunny. Right? Am I missing any?
No, that's what we got. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
That's what I got.
This is going to be the most amount of movies we've ever had on one podcast, and it's because we've been busy with holidays and that, but we're here to crack through them. So, as always, guys, be sure to subscribe because it really helps us out. Feel free to use the timestamps in the description below to jump around to your favorite movies or skip ahead straight to the rankings if that's all you care about. And let's kick this off with our first movie, Avatar 3, Fire and Ash. Isaac, take us away.
The conflict on Pandora escalates as Jake and Neytiri's family encounter a new aggressive Na'vi tribe.
All right. Short, sweet, and arguably incorrect.
Completely inaccurate.
Because,
yes.
as I said, leaving the theater, this movie, the plots are so convoluted that there are so many branching subplots to this movie that the movie itself forgets which one is meant to be the main plot.
Yeah, the one that's on all the marketing.
Right, because the new evil tribe is relevant for maybe like a third of the runtime before the last hour of the movie just becomes whale wars again.
Yeah, like the problem that this movie has, and you summed it up very, very well, and it's the way I've been telling people, is that the first Avatar was a feat of visual engineering. It was gorgeous, it was beautiful, it was a cinematic experience, which is why it was so popular. The second one came out almost a decade after, well, actually more than a decade, I think.
12 years.
12 years after after the first one. So it's like, it's the thing, but it's back, and it's with water and stuff. So you get new creatures, new people, new culture, which was really cool. Like a new Na'vi culture was really cool to see, and things like that. So, and it's taking the old thing with updated visuals. So it's like you took what you already had and you brought it up to snuff to recent days. And I shouldn't even say that because the old Avatar still holds up incredibly well. Like, and this one is like, it's the thing, but new. Like, that's cool.
It's the back effect. The McRib effect.
But it was also,
it's been so long.
It was also interesting because, again, we got new stuff in the movie.
Right.
In this one, you can't do anything new because literally the only thing you introduce is this new Na'vi tribe, and their whole thing is if God exists, why bad thing happen? That's their entire thing. Yeah. If Awa exists, why bad thing happen? And that's literally all you get there. They don't even get any new creatures. It's the same things that they've been using.
It's the whales that everyone loved from last time. Isaac, didn't you love the whales from the last movie?
No, I didn't.
What?
I didn't care about it, honestly.
What?
Like, I liked the one whale that fought with them, and that was it. I totally forgot about whale politics.
You want more? No. You want more whales in the third movie?
No. I don't want more whales.
I'm hearing that you want more whales. What I'm hearing is that you want the entire last hour of this movie to be whale politics.
That's what a lot of it is.
That's what I heard from you.
So the problem that this movie has is that the only thing it would have had going for it is story. Yes. That's the biggest thing. That's the only thing that it could bring to the table, unless it would give us like a whole new area of Pandora that we've never seen before, like the last movie did, where it was all like talking about the water and everything. Yeah. But we didn't get a whole new area. We just got like, it's just more of what was already happening in the last one. So they needed to have like more deep like story in there, and none of it really expanded the lore. None of it really like like it also was confusing because you had like you introduced Spider as this new, like you didn't really introduce him, but like you turned him into this new character essentially because he's now, part Navi and like he can live on the planet like without a mask and stuff. So he's like the first human that can like live on the planet, which is interesting. Honestly, if that was a major part of the movie, I would be interested in
I
that.
feel like it's
Like that
gonna
was
be a
actually
major
cool.
part of the next movie.
It
Like the
probably
whole
will be,
next movie is gonna be
but
them
they
hunting Spider, which is great because didn't you love Spider?
I would like Spider, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that they use him so ineffectually.
And that he can't
That's the
act.
problem. Well, true, he's not a great actor.
Oh my
Well,
god!
to be fair,
More
he's
than
the only human. He's like in
that
those
has nothing
scenes
to
that
do
he
with
has
it.
to
His
act
line
in.
delivery is abysmal. More than half of his lines were complete clunkers.
Yeah. But also, like, so on top of that, though, you have the clone of the dude that died in the first movie, which, by the way, that was a stupid thing to begin with in the last one. Now we're making him more of a main character, and guess what? He's starting to identify more with the Na'vi, but they're the new Na'vi, so he's got these guys, and it's like, and they barely brush on that. You just kind of see it happen, and
Yeah.
that's all it is.
Well,
So it's
he
like
see
they have
what
all
had
these
happened
threads
was
that they could.
what had happened
They
was
have
is that he found an 8-foot tall blue goth GF, and then he shot hot lead up his nose like Ink and Mo Howard in that JonTron video. So honestly, you put two and two together, and then like what else do you do but paint yourself white and red?
But what I'm saying is that they introduced so many threads to pull on, and they lightly tugged on all of them.
Yeah,
That was literally it. That was the biggest problem I think this movie had is they tried. It sounds
it's
like
all
they're
the
trying to do a
subplots.
lot. Well, it sounds like they're trying to do all the setup for
Mm-hmm.
the future movies at once. And like as someone who is writing a book that has a big grand plan
Mm-hmm.
like eventually in the future and you know what you need to have set up and everything. I'm sure that you as a writer can say that trying to do all your setup in one fell swoop is a terrible idea.
Yeah, no, like the several parts that I need setting up for the grand finale in my book series is spread between like 3 books or what
Yeah.
three future books that I haven't written yet, and and so like 6 books in total.
Yeah, so like it's there's a lot you need. There's a lot of moving parts. It sounds more like James Cameron set this. He's only been given the leeway to make 5 movies,
Yeah.
and he wanted to have like this big giant story. Like it sounds like George R. Martin or Tolkien level story that he has in his head, and he's just trying to. But he's only been given 5 movies to slap it all on screen.
Yeah,
Like,
it seems to me like he put like 2 movies worth of stuff and lore and tried to squish them all into one movie.
yeah, but in doing so, just made it confusing and hard to follow.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of it ended up having to be more subtle and stuff because we now have Immaculate Conception
Yeah, that was
in
the
this
other
movie.
thing, Isaac. Didn't you like that Sigourney Weaver was Jesus?
Yeah, that was weird. That was odd to have that because they already established that they were like in the last movie they were like, oh, we just used the DNA from her avatar and then mixed it with the male DNA of another avatar and just made you. That's what they did. I don't even remember her name. I don't even remember the girl's name. I
Uh,
could not tell you what it is.
Ki-
Kitty or something. I don't know.
it's Kiri, and the only reason I know that is because that they put like the little twang on the R, so it sounds like Kitty, and it's funny because she's a cat.
Yeah, Kitty. We're gonna
Kitty.
call her Kitty.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
Kitty.
but
And Kitty
but
is Jesus.
Kitty is
Kitty.
Jesus because
Which is great.
like again, it made perfect sense in the last one for that to be the case. Where it's just
Not,
yeah, we wanted this. Well, I shouldn't say it made sense like from why they did it, but at least it made sense that they went, okay, we took DNA from a male and a female,
no,
put it
yeah, that
together, tested
that yeah,
against you.
that made sense. Not the other thing.
That made
Isaac,
sense.
you know that
That
guy?
made sense.
You know that guy whose videos I was showing you yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
The Despot of Antrim. I love that guy. I love his videos. He's amazing. I was just watching his video the other day on Avatar 2, which he put out like, you know, when Avatar 2 came out. And he even said that if in the next movie it turns out that Kitty was an immaculate conception of Awa, bullshit.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
off.
funny.
No, it wasn't.
That's great.
The fact that he guessed it right 2 years ahead of time.
Yeah.
Whole movie in advance.
But yeah, it makes no sense because then on top of it, because okay, I'm gonna go and break down. I wasn't supposed to spend this much time on this, but
Yeah,
we're going a little breakdown here.
It's a long movie.
Okay,
There's a lot
so,
to go through.
True. True. This is probably the last thing I need to rant about, honestly.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's all you, man.
Because okay, so in the last movie, they're talking about how she has this connection to Awa, like she's one of the shaman ladies, like and that seems to be the case in the Na'vi lore, is that the women tend to be more like spiritually inclined, so like, and they can become these shamans that connect with Awa, and they can make like do the transfer thing from the human to the avatar and things like that.
Yeah.
But she A is prone to seizures, and B is like it encounters like a block when she tries to do that. And that made sense in the last movie because she is a freak of nature. Like she is like in the last movie, she's a clone effectively, but not even really. So like she's like 3 steps of separation from what a Na'vi normally is. So it makes sense why she would have trouble with that. But now we find out that she's Anakin Skywalker, and fucking she can't connect to Awa properly, but Awa is what conceived her. And that makes no fucking sense. That makes no fucking sense. That makes none whatsoever. So she is conceived of Awa, but she cannot access it herself. So she's
not.
Jesus, but without the connection to the Lord.
Unfortunately.
What the
Seems that
fuck?
way. Seems that
And
way.
also, why is Awa Jinky minus? Why is he? Why is it?
I don't know, man.
People get no explanation for that, by the way. Like that was the shitty. That was the shittiest fucking thing I have seen in the whole movie. I saw in the whole movie.
Yeah,
it looked so bad.
The face of Awa reveal looked really bad.
It was so bad, like Uncanny Valley level bad. Like it was awful.
Like PS2 graphics bad, or PS3 maybe on a good day.
Yeah.
Two things.
So,
two things I remember complaining about is it was hard to tell at first for like the good half of the movie whether the English was diegetic or not. Like I couldn't tell if they were actually speaking English to each other or if it was just translated into English from Na'vi for us, the listener or viewer. Because it didn't make sense for them all to be speaking English because, you know, that's not really your thing. Why would all the random natives be speaking English? That doesn't make any sense. But then also Jake will be like talking to Quaritch and they'll be speaking English to each other. I'm like, well, they definitely wouldn't be speaking Na'vi to each other because, you know, they're both from Earth and Quaritch ain't speaking Na'vi if he doesn't have to. So I'm like,
yeah.
Is this whatever? So like eventually you pick up that there's just certain points when they really are speaking English, and that's because other Na'vi will be speaking Na'vi. But the problem is that there's no like differential on like when they're speaking real English and when they're not speaking real English, so it's kind of confusing at times, but you can kind of just like absorb which one it's
Yeah.
supposed to be, I guess. But it was a little
Yeah,
it just threw me off a little bit is what it was.
yeah, the
Um
weirdest moment. I don't know if I kind of spaced for a second because I was kind of looking at something. Uh, I don't know if you touched on it already, but the moment where they come back, where Korich brings home all the Navis and everything, that moment right there, where like they show up and he's speaking English to the commander, but the Avatar lady is speaking her language,
yeah.
and then he turns around and speaks it to her,
Yeah, I was like, "Oh,
and like
so
it's just
we're oh, okay."
yeah, it's like yes, it's obvious what's supposed to be happening, but it takes a minute.
Yeah. See,
Like it
because
like like it like
because
it
there was a
takes
point
you a moment to
there
process.
was a point where like Neytiri's mom was like doing like a chant or something in Navi, and I was like, wait, I thought it was all you know translated into English first. Why are they speaking? Why is it the other language now? It just didn't. It just threw me for a loop a couple of times.
The only
Um,
thing I can think of is that the only explanation I have for that is that there is no English translation. He
no, it's
didn't bother to
because they
make
were
an English
around
translation
humans,
for
and the
that.
humans were actually speaking English. So it was just like
Oh, okay.
a weird shift. So if there are humans around, then they actually are speaking English, and if there are not humans around, I guess then they are not.
Okay.
I guess. I suppose.
I guess.
Uh, you're meant to just infer that. The other thing I thought was kind of silly is that at the end when they all like hook up into the tree or whatever, and they get to see all the spirits of everyone who had died just chilling out in the cloud. I'm like,
Yeah.
why the fuck do they get so bent out of shape over everyone dying if you can literally just go hang out with them for a couple hours like anytime whenever you want? Just you get to just hook yourself.
Yeah.
You get to fucking hook yourself into the metaverse and like hang out with your dead brother's soul literally anytime you want to. What
Yeah.
is the problem?
Like it's one of those culture things. Is what it is. Is like he's setting up a culture that of course it's a sad thing because they're not physically there with you anymore. But like
Right, but
it's still weird.
they're the same amount of sad as if someone in reality were to die, but we don't get to just run
Yeah.
down to the local library and then just hang out with their spirit one on one for
Yeah.
as long as we want, whenever we want. And
Yeah,
apparently they
it's
can just
weird.
do that.
It's yeah, so it was weird to me because the first thing like we're introduced in this movie actually like is like the cold open for the movie was the one son hanging out with his dead brother in there, and they're flying around on their like Ravager things or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you call them. Uh and like at first I'm thinking, "Oh, is this like a guilt dream that he's having
See,
where he's like his brother's
I
still
wasn't
alive?"
thinking anything because I had completely forgotten that the brother died from the last movie.
Fair enough, but like fair enough. But like it became this like, oh, is this like a guilt dream? Like something weird's gonna happen and he's gonna be blaming himself. And then he comes out and he's like, oh yeah, that's right. They can just jack into the Matrix and just kind of chill. And that was really dumb.
Yeah. I don't think they quite like showed that. Like obviously there's like they've done that in the past where they're like connecting to their ancestor spirits, but I didn't know that they were literally like hooking themselves into the metaverse and like chatting with them and hanging out and surfing and going bowlings on Wednesday, you know.
Yeah, like them just being able to see people whenever they want is kind of weird.
Directly.
Of to the point of like they made it a plot point where Kitty is like upset because of her seizures. Like she can't visit them because they have to go underwater to be able to do that. And if she has a seizure underwater, it's dangerous to her, so she can't go and see her ancestors, see her family that has died. She can't talk to what is supposed to be her mom
Yeah.
and things like that. But like in her case, it makes sense. but
I don't
like
know.
in everyone else's, it doesn't. It's weird. It's confusing.
It's the
This whole movie is
franchise.
confusing.
The franchise is very quickly and very hardly falling off. Um,
Yeah, it's very sad to
we
see.
should move into the rankings.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. I was very bored. I was very pulled apart by all the subplots that were going on at the same time, and I just don't give a fuck about the whales. The past two movies, a vast majority of the runtime has been about the fucking whales, and I don't care. I don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Me and Kenny don't give two fucks about stupid ass whales. Please stop. Isaac, go on.
uh, Me, I'm gonna give it Avatar 3. Yeah, it is. It really is. I'm giving it a 3. I originally had it at a 5, and then what going into this recording, and the more I bitched about it, the more I realized how much I fucking hated this. Like it was like the action wasn't even enough to save it because it was all just the same shit. The only thing new that we got were those squid tentacle things, like those little squid dudes that came up from the deep, and like they like because those were kind of scary, like when they were attacking the ships, and I'm like,
A
oh
little
yeah, those
bit.
things are kind of fucking weird. But like that, and also, who the fuck is piercing the whales? Who the fuck is putting gauges in the whales?
I don't know, man. Uh,
And where do they get the gauges? Tell me you got a Spencer's around here? What the fuck?
yeah, big Navi Spencers for the whales.
Big Navi Spencer's for the whales.
All right, moving on to our next movie, we have The Housemaid. Now, Isaac and I, we actually pushed this one off quite a bit to the point where we just saw this yesterday as time of recording, so it was nice and
Mhm.
fresh in our memories. Take us away, Isaac.
Hoping for a fresh start, a young woman becomes a live-in maid for a wealthy couple who harbors sinister secrets.
All right, right off the bat, I was heavily disappointed in this movie
Oh yeah,
because
greatly.
because spoiler alert, the man is the bad guy. Dun dun dun. Who would have thought?
Now,
Except
first off,
me.
in and of itself, that is not the real issue. Well, it is the issue,
Well, the
but it's
issue
not
is
just like
that's
the,
supposed to be the twist. Is the twist is
yes,
that it's actually neither, because you look at the trailer and you look at all the promotional stuff. It's meant to be like, oh, something is going on between the wife and the maid, right? Going
yes,
into this movie, I had I had high hopes because what I had assumed wrongfully and hopelessly is that it was going to be not that the maid was sleeping with the husband and the wife found out and tried to kill her, or you know, something like that, but I thought and I was hoping, we didn't read the book, by the way, because we're men and
yeah,
not interested.
yeah.
But we were hoping that it was just going to be, and it kind of was at first, for the most part. It was just going to be the maid being a total normal maid, doing nothing wrong, and then the wife just being schizophrenically batshit crazy on her for no reason. And
Exactly,
she kind of
and that's
was
what it was.
at
That's what it
first.
looked.
But then, dun
That's
dun
how it
dun,
looked.
here's the twist. But in my mind, that's not a twist. It's not a twist that the man is the bad guy, because the man is always a bad guy because it's current year. What really would have been twist, and what really would have subverted the audience's expectations, if the guy was just absolutely completely like innocent or clueless about anything going on, and his wife just really is like actually psychologically insane, and then she just inflicts all this terror on the poor maid, and she's like driving
Yeah,
her insane, and like they really are just like lost in all this, but there's some sort of
yeah.
like cleverness to her craziness that keeps her like under the husband's radar the whole time.
That's what I was wondering it would be like, because that's what it's supposed to be. The biggest tip off that this movie had, because at first it was subverting my expectations and the
Yeah.
fact that,
It's like, oh
because
no, they're
like,
just crazy.
yeah, she's
She's
just
just crazy.
crazy and she's just doing stuff like that's
Yeah,
wild.
because
But
at this point that would be new, that would be interesting. But
yeah, it would make for an interesting story.
when they reveal
Um,
the twist, it's the exact same twist we see in a bunch of other movies. Just to name one off my head, Blink Twice.
yep,
Exactly the
blink twice.
same twist. It's the twist.
At
It's
least in Blink Twice, at least in Blink Twice, at least in the promotional material for Blink Twice, that was the thing you knew going into it is that
well,
something weird
there
was
was
happening.
something weird going on here. We didn't know if it was that specifically or something else or what's or supernatural or
But
something.
they had you suspecting the man
Yeah,
already.
he was kind
Is
of
what it was.
suspicious, right? But the thing is that the twist of oh, the man was evil the whole time, the husband was the bad guy the whole time, is not a twist anymore because it's expected now, because it's the twist is a cliche.
Yeah. Which
So
most twists are, fairly enough, but like in this it was just
I wouldn't.
weird and it became very apparent because the wife was getting too crazy too fast. This
Yeah,
was a 2 hour movie. She was going batshit insane by the half-hour mark.
yeah,
Like, she
it's
immediately started gaslighting her. She immediately started doing all this shit
and
where she would, like,
she
tell her
wasn't.
to pick up her daughter and then be like, oh no, like, that's how it is. And,
Well,
like,
it's not just that. Like as you say, like immediately when she makes the big deal about her notes being missing and she just starts lashing out crazy erratically for no reason, you're already tipped off onto that because just like you say, like
yeah,
she acts too crazy too fast that you know
yeah,
something's up. It's just like in a horror movie when it's like 30 minutes in and they're just like, oh, we think it's this guy. This guy's the killer. There's an hour left of the movie. It's not going to be the first guy you think, so no one's going to fall for that.
yeah.
It's just like that. It's the exact same thing. You know that there's going to be more to this story. It's not just going to be her being crazy because you're playing your hand too fast. Obviously, we know
The
there's more things coming.
The biggest compliment I can give this movie is that the second half of the movie moves faster than the first, and that's solely because we're getting new shit. I was at a point during the first bit where I was getting similar feelings as to when we went and watched the movie Friendship, where it's just I'm like, is this movie, if this movie is going to play out the way that I'm still kind of hoping it does, is this just gonna be her acting crazy and then the husband covers for her and then it's just like it'll just escalate and escalate, but it's still just her going crazy for an hour and a half?
Yeah,
But like they only did that for the first hour, and then you get this whole like 40-minute backstory on the wife where it's like,
oh
nah, he's just been manipulating her the whole time,
yeah,
and like she's
like
actually relieved and this was all planned by her to get out of it and all this
yeah,
shit.
she was
and
not the good
then
guy either.
and then they very lazily fake his death after murdering him.
Yeah. Oh,
uh
do we want to even get into that?
no, no,
Okay.
because it doesn't even matter. It
Topic
doesn't
for
even matter.
another day.
They they literally, all you need to know is that they extremely lazily fake this man's death, and then the housemaid, who by the way, the big like secret thing that you don't even really get till the later part of the movie is that you knew she was on parole and you knew she had been in jail for 10 years, and you find out like after this whole 40-minute thing of the man is manipulative, you find out she went to jail because she murdered a fellow classmate when she was in college or high
Yeah.
school, whatever it was.
For essay, because
Because
he's
she
essaying
walked,
someone.
because she walked in and he was assaulting her roommate,
Yeah.
and so she just killed him, and then she went to prison for it. And like you get to that point, this point towards the end where you're like, she's trying to turn her life around, she's trying to just, like, she doesn't want to go back to jail, and then she murders a man, which I get it was in self-defense, but she still murdered this man, very lazily covers it up, and then the next job she gets is for a woman who's asking for her help nonchalantly to kill her husband for her. Like,
If
and she
one
accepts.
time is not a drastic coincidence that is highly suspicious, then a second time is definitely gonna raise some eyebrows and reopen a
Exactly.
couple of cases here.
Exactly. Like, it's a very lazy plot. It's very easy to see what's happening. The twist is not even that. It's you see it coming from a mile away. Like, yeah, maybe not the specifics, but the husband is, because the moment the moment he sleeps with the maid, he actually sleeps with the maid. It's concreted in my mind that he is actually the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of coping for a while. I'm like, oh, is the guy actually gonna be the bad one? But I was kind of coping, and at the same time, I like in that I was also in the throes of despair because I'm like, is this bitch still gonna be fucking crazy? Like, if the way I want this movie to play out, I have to watch this bitch flip out for another hour and a half.
True.
But the moment
All
he
right.
sleeps with her, it cements in my mind that okay, he's the bad guy, and my night is ruined.
All right. Moving on to the rankings. I'm gonna give this a solid, well-deserved 3 out of 10. Not that great. Very, very predictable to the point where Isaac was literally
Yeah.
3 to 4 separate times during the movie he said the exact line of dialogue that the character was just about to say. Like he beats the character to the dialogue like literally a second before they say it. Like
Yeah, it
the
was.
dialogue is very predictable. The twist was obvious. Um, Literally the only compliment I can really give to this movie is well, a that it's not as bad as a lot of the other things on our list, and b the only compliment that most other guys would give that this movie, and that is Sydney Sweeney's boobs, which is surprising coming from me of all people.
Yeah. Um, I'm also giving this movie a 3 out of 10. A very solid 3 out of 10. It was very disappointing from, again, they're trying to subvert the audience's expectations through all the marketing to make it seem like the women are the problem, whereas they're literally to the point where the husband is barely in any of the material. They did a very similar thing. Like, it's just the marketing kind of ruins it. Is what a major
If I
part of
had
that
to
is.
boil it
My
down,
biggest
if I had to boil it down real quick, I would say that uh the marketing and trailers would trick you into thinking that it's something new and interesting and fresh, but the plot twist is that it's actually the same old boring repetitive
Yeah,
trope
exactly.
that always happens in movies like this.
Exactly. I my the only other thing I could like positively say about this is that the cast was very well done, actually.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
Amanda
yeah,
Seyfried,
everyone.
perfect casting for a woman who's freaking out. The husband, he was a very good pick. I
Oh yes,
actually
he was he
thought
was
he
he was a
did a
really
very
good
good.
pick for what he was. For what
Yeah,
they were,
yeah, he did.
everyone was casted really well. I just wish that they would do better shit on screen.
True. Um, but that being said, yeah, 3 out of 10.
All right. Moving on to our next movie, we have Anaconda, starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd, of all people. Two people who we have lost great amounts of stock in over the past
They
movies.
have in the past year and a half, both of them have been stricken from the list of, hey, these people are in this movie. Let's go see them.
Yeah.
This person's in this movie. So, anyway, Anaconda. Best friends Griff and Doug have always dreamed of remaking their all-time favorite movie, Anaconda. When a midlife crisis pushes them to finally go for it, they assemble a crew and head deep into the jungles of the Amazon to start filming. However, life soon imitates art when a giant anaconda with a thirst for blood starts hunting them down.
Nice. Isaac, do you want to say the thing that you've said to everyone else when talking about this movie?
This was a terrible, terrible movie. It was terrible, awful. I had a great time. It's it's like this movie. I should not be ranking this movie at the rank I'm ranking it at, but I
No.
enjoyed the hell out of it.
It was quite a bit of bullshit, but it
It
was fun.
was,
It
but it
was
was fun
oddly
bullshit.
enjoyable at some points. I actually laughed at some of the jokes, which is
It
rare
had
from
just the right amount of like slapstick type comedy
yeah,
where, or I shouldn't say slapstick, but like it's that kind of like tongue in cheek
yeah.
kind of like stuff where they just make stupid jokes and it's like this is
Yeah, all
like
right, that
they
was pretty
know
good.
they're being stupid, but they know they're being stupid,
Yeah.
and that's what I love about it.
It was moderately funny. Like if I came downstairs and my dad was watching it or somebody else was watching it, like I wouldn't mind watching it with him. It's that kind of
Yeah,
movie.
this is a movie
Like
I
I
wouldn't mind watching
I
again. I
wouldn't
wouldn't intentionally put it on,
no
but
I wouldn't like be missing out if I just walked away, but
yeah.
like it's fine. It's fine. It's
This is something like if you
moderate.
and your friends were. This is like something if you and your friends. It's like 1 in the morning, 3 a.m. Whatever.
Oh,
You've all been drinking all
getting
night, and you
silly.
just want to throw something on. You just want to get a little silly and throw something on. This is a great movie for that.
This
Where
is something
like
that if we had not seen in theaters, you know what? Since Merrick hasn't seen this might be something you could possibly see in the future for a movie before bed.
that would be a good one.
Guys, please check out our movie watch along audio tracks on our channel, A Movie Before Bed, where me and my brother Merrick stay up very, very late, really disassociate from reality, and watch a shitty movie.
I
Free
really want to
plug here.
hopefully be a part of that sometime.
Sometime we'll see. It depends. We still have a few kinks to work out when it's not just the
We have
two
a
of
few
us,
logistical errors with that. Yeah.
but we'll figure something out. We will. Don't worry. Um,
Anyway.
yeah, I really don't have like anything to say
There's
specific wise
zero
on this
specific.
movie.
The only specific I can give this movie, I liked the snake looked really good.
It did. It did. I thought the snake looked
Like
looking.
the and
And not
the
just
the
not just the
the
giant evil one, but the other one that they had too, like the snake handler head. That one looked pretty good too.
I think I think when they had it in his hands, it was a real snake.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Um.
But
a f-
like a majority of that snake was also CGI,
yeah.
yes.
Two
But it
other
looked really good.
two other specific points is when Ice-T showed up. We got this movie to ourselves, by the way.
Cube,
When oh yeah,
cube.
sorry, it was the wrong ice. When Ice Cube showed up, not Ice-T, obviously different ice related person. When Ice Cube showed up in the middle of the movie, because I remember the last movie. Uh, when Ice Cube showed up,
Remember
I
the first movie?
from the first yeah. Uh,
This is the
I couldn't
fourth
help
Anaconda
myself.
movie, technically. I think.
Is it?
I believe so.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
god! Don't look that
I
up.
this
I
is
don't
not just
care.
the
Don't
second
look
one,
it up. I
but
don't
there's
care. When Ice Cube showed up in the movie and he like pulled his like hood back and did the well, here I am celebrity face reveal, I shot up out of my seat and I said, "It's you! How could you?" Like just like
what's really funny. What's really funny to me is this is not the first time Ice Cube has made that entrance in a movie because he basically had the exact same entrance in the third Triple X movie. Because he was in the second Triple X movie.
he did the same thing that what's his name was
I have no
the
context.
guy from Y2K who just pulls up out of nowhere.
Oh, fucking Fred
Yeah,
Durst.
Fred Durst. I had no idea who Fred Durst was, so they meet up with him in that thing, and he takes his hood off and he does the reveal for the camera. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And they're like, Fred Durst. Oh my God, and that's what Ice Cube did. He did the Fred
The
Durst
only
voice.
thing you knew about Fred Durst is that Eminem is complaining that you sit next to Carly. Fred Durst.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
don't know who
gosh.
Carly
No,
is, but anyways,
I don't either.
uh,
I probably misquoted it. I don't
you
care.
did, you did.
Let's move on to the rankings here, because honestly, I have nothing else to say here.
Oh, the other thing that is
Oh, you have another
the
thing.
only
My
other
bad.
thing this movie did is it kind of reignited my interest in the fucking shitty screenplay that I was writing and gave up on because it was a bad idea. And I was like,
Yeah.
maybe I should take another crack at that. You know, it's decent fuel to anyone's screenwriting fire, if anything.
Yeah.
It makes it the process seem fun, which it's not really.
Yeah. Um.
Moving on to the rankings.
Moving on to the rankings. Shockingly enough, I'm giving this movie a 6 out of 10. I very much enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
Like it's really funny is that they make it funny even while someone is being murdered. like it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm also gonna give this a 6 out of 10. There were a few jokes that got me. For instance, the actual like Sony boat going down the river right past them, and it's like, oh, we're shooting Anaconda for Sony, and yeah, it's a shitty meta joke, but like it kind of worked for me. It got me.
It was really funny because it's like because he lied to them about having the rights to Anaconda, and then they're down there,
But
and Sony is there filming
Sony
this.
has the rights
They
to
have the rights
Anaconda.
to
They said
Anaconda.
after the
And
Sony
and they're
logo at
like,
the beginning of
who
the
cares
movie.
about who cares about copyright law when it comes to IP? Sony. Sony is literally the worst one you could go up against with that.
Yeah, all the Sony jokes, while they were very very meta and ham-fisted, did work for me a little bit. I will have to
Yeah.
admit.
What are you giving it, sir?
I said I'm agreeing a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Moving on to the next movie, we have SpongeBob. Subtitle, I forget what it is. The SpongeBob movie. Isaac, take us away, please.
It's SpongeBob's Search for SquarePants.
Was it? Okay, you could give me 8
Yes.
guesses and I wouldn't have gotten it.
SpongeBob Big Guy.
That's what it's called. Okay, SpongeBob 4, Big Guy.
Move on.
The fourth
That's what we're calling it.
theatrical, or is it the third theatrical? Did the last SpongeBob movie, was that a home release because of COVID?
I think it was,
I
maybe.
think it was. So, so the third theatrical SpongeBob movie. Isaac, take us away.
Hoping to prove his bravery to Mr. Krabs,
Isaac, shut
SpongeBob
up. Isaac,
follows...
shut up. Stop right there. I don't even care. This movie blows cheeks, dude. We're skipping over the fucking description of it. Oh my God, this movie.
Yeah, this is awful.
I'm a sponge head, okay? I'm a big square head, okay? I like SpongeBob. me and Merrick still get a kick out of watching the new SpongeBob, modern SpongeBob, even though it's right dog shit. We can at least laugh at how dog shit it is. This, oh my God, did you even try?
No.
You even try? They did not try. It looked, I don't know if it was in the visuals. I don't know if it was in the script. Odds are probably both. But I got the feeling that ChatGPT got involved in this a little bit. I think there was AI somewhere involved, because there's no way that a group of people can sit down and collaborate together and squeeze this square turd out. Oh my God. And before you get mad at me for being like, oh, it's a kid's movie, who cares? First, do I need to go over the list? A, I need to screen kids' movies because I'm an uncle now and hope to be a father soon, so I need to keep tabs on, kids' movies. So I need to know the direction where they're going, how good they're going to be, and if I'm going to let anyone, I'm related to watch it. And B, just because it's a kid's movie doesn't mean it has the right to be shit. Children deserve good content too.
Exactly.
And C, Don't act like you don't still watch SpongeBob. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sitting
Kids,
down there.
kids.
You're gonna be sitting down there. Your fucking 20 to 30-year-old ass is still gonna go downstairs and sing the campfire song. So shut the fuck up. You know you are.
Kids deserve more than jingle, jingle, jingle.
And that's all they got,
Like,
though. They didn't give a shit. Nobody gave a shit in this movie. Oh my god, it looked at it. Visuals alone were fucking god awful.
no, they
Because
were horrible.
good lord, how many times it was so fucking uncanny that for like 40% of the movie, SpongeBob was like full frontal facing and like dead on. Like, did you notice that? How many times he was like just like
Oh
forward
yeah,
facing completely, like still
yeah,
like
that
a
was
fucking
weird.
robot? Like it cost extra money to make him turn slightly.
Oh hey, want to talk about costing extra money to make things move? Kellen, tell him the thing you didn't notice till halfway through.
Merrick pointed this out, and once he did, I
Yeah,
couldn't stop seeing it. And then I told you, and then you couldn't stop seeing it. You can
yeah,
watch this movie. A lot of people, if you haven't picked this up yet, find a way to like bootleg this movie for free, so you don't have to actually watch it, or like find a clip or something. When SpongeBob talks, the textures on like his face will just move up and down like around his mouth, but the holes,
like they should.
like the pores, the holes on him will remain perfectly still, and like the
To the
textures,
point where the
as
texture goes under it.
the textures will move up and down underneath the holes, which doesn't make any sense and just looks god awful and lazy and unfinished. Like, make the holes move with his face. They are part of his face. They don't just float, like they don't just levitate like just off of his mouth. Like imagine, like, as I'm talking, imagine if like my fucking facial hair just stayed exactly where it was. Like
Yeah.
this little soul patch I accidentally growing here.
The
If that
other,
just remained exactly still in that exact place as my chin moves up and down.
yeah.
Like, it looks unfinished. It looks sloppy. The whole
The
movie,
other problem,
it looks like
yeah,
a test screen. Like, before they add in all the better visuals and like more fluid movements.
yeah. The other problem that this movie has, well, there's many problems. There's two major other problems this movie has. First off, we'll go with the lesser one, is that this movie, it, so up till now, even though SpongeBob has gotten progressively worse, it at least had knowledge of its own continuity.
Yeah. I don't want to.
It-
I don't know what they're doing with the SpongeBob lore timeline, but you can't fuck it up this bad. I mean, they already
yeah,
fucked up the Sandy thing when, Tia treated him, but then they go back and, oh, but can't Coral. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody
yeah,
knows what's going on anymore. They're just doing whatever the fuck they want.
bro.
But as Isaac was saying, there's one glaring thing. They act like this is the first time he's meeting the Flying Dutchman. And if it is, no, it's not. And if it's not,
Literally one
what
of
the
the
fuck?
best episodes of SpongeBob is him meeting the Dutchman.
Bro,
It's one of arguably one. It's
Arg is one of the
arguably one of the best episodes of SpongeBob. And then on top of that, Kellen, tell him the thing that you kept saying throughout the movie.
what's big guy? Fucking
No,
No,
the fact that, dude, why are you surprised that he is the way that he is, and that you're meeting him? He was you were roommates.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, cuz like, oh my god. The amount of times that it just doesn't make any sense. They were fucking roommates for like 6 months in the one episode where the Flying Dutchman, like, his ship breaks and he's got to move in with SpongeBob. There's the fucking meme that come from that episode where SpongeBob's just like staring up bored at the Dutchman. You know each other. It's like, oh, he's searching for an innocent soul. I'm like, bro, he didn't pick up on it the last 18 times he hung out with the guy. He had him in his clutch. He owned his soul for a few minutes.
Yeah. The other glaring issue that this movie has
Oh, can I guess?
is, I mean, it's not big guy. It's
Oh.
not big guy.
No, is it the fact that
Although
like
I hate
every
that.
single plot point or a thing that happens in the movie has already been done in another SpongeBob movie or episode?
Literally the first movie. Literally the first SpongeBob movie is this exact premise. It's just now he's specifically trying to prove himself to Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, so the
Instead of trying to prove himself to
S-
everybody, he's
SpongeBob's
just trying to prove himself to Mr.
SpongeBob's
Krabs.
internal problem is that he's still too much of like a kid or like a lily liver or some kind of wimp or a little guy, if you will.
He's not a big
He's
guy.
not a big guy. He needs to prove himself that he's a big guy, or if you will, that he's not
Oh
a
my god,
kid and that he's a
did they get
man.
paid? Did they get paid extra money for every either that or someone on the writing team was given a bet to see how many times they could slip the word big guy into the script? Cuz it was fucking incessant, and then I can't tell if this is like a chicken and egg thing where they got the person to make a song for the movie and they just called it Big Guy and then did that, and
And then they're just
then
like, "Oh, we
which is
gotta
it's
squeeze
a
it. We
terrible
got
song, by the
It's
way.
a shit song. Oh my god. I've been torturing Isaac with it. I've been saying like SpongeBob big guy like every so often he'd just be like, I hate
I
you. And I
fucking
hate it
hate
too.
you.
I hate it too. I was like, I need something good to come out of this, and if I can piss
We
you
didn't
off
pay
and make you
money to
fun,
go see it. We're fine.
I still wasted my time, if not my money.
Good point. Good point. But yeah, no, you had all that, and then like even the stuff that could have been good with
Yeah.
what they were doing, they didn't do. They made the last because Kellen had this idea, and I had the same idea. I just didn't vocalize it before Kellen did. Was that what we thought was going to happen is over the course of the movie, SpongeBob is talking about how he wants to be more assertive and more of like a big guy, a swashbuckler. That's the big thing is he's trying to learn to be a swashbuckler, a rake, a rogue, like those guys. Shut up. Cut that out.
Go on.
But
No, leave it in.
but just like this tough guy on the high seas, like
Yeah.
that kind of thing. He's trying to get him to do that, to become that. He wants to become that, but he still can't help but be silly. Which, but I've said this before, basically the plot of an entire Gravity Falls episode. We're gonna leave it at that. But anyway, but he can't help but be silly while trying to be serious. And as the movie goes on, the Dutchman is like, "You gotta be tougher, boy. You gotta do this and that and Mark Hamill things." And
Well,
but he
like what you're getting at here basically in the movie is, so I don't mean to hijack it, but like
no,
I want to convey it like the way
yeah,
I understood it in my head. So there's a point in the movie where the Flying Dutchman says like, you can't be hanging out with your friend Patrick. You gotta like blow him off. Tell him to fuck off. He's ruining me secret plan. And he's gotta like get someone pure of heart up to the mountain and blow the horn or whatever. So basically he convinces SpongeBob to tell Patrick to fuck off, and then Patrick's sad, and then he just keeps what I thought they was gonna do is that he's gonna like as he's like getting SpongeBob through all the trials and that, he just turns more into an asshole basically. And then when he gets up to the mountain, the last thing, and blows the horn, he's not pure of heart anymore. He's like, "Ha, you fucking
you played yourself.
you played
Congratulations."
yourself. You played yourself. You in your attempt to get him to the place, you turned him into something that is the opposite of what you needed." And that would be like, some kind of a dunk on him, but also a lesson in be yourself or whatever. But no, it was still fine. And that was just absolutely nothing. He told Patrick to fuck off just because Dutchman didn't like Patrick, I guess.
Also, and then on top of that, also the trying to go back, like another thing, forgetting their continuity,
Mm-hmm.
they made Mr. Krabs be like, they're like retroactively turned him into a wimp
Yeah.
as well.
He was
they
in
did
the
that.
Navy. He was
He was
at
in the Navy.
war.
Man was at war. He was literally the toughest guy around.
Hey, he had a
That was
manly
an entire
toughness
episode.
trophy. He won like
Exactly.
2 of them. The Armor Abs Crabs,
Exactly.
brother. He
But
was a
then on top of
genuine
that is
pirate.
he gets like there with SpongeBob. He like meets up with SpongeBob and they blow the horn, and then Mr. Krabs basically the whole point of it is he needs someone pure of heart so he can basically be free of the Dutchman curse, and then the person that he tricked takes his place, and
Yeah,
that's
so they
that's what
turn
he
into
has to do.
ghosts.
And so they turn into ghosts. Also, first of all, Mr. Krabs innocent. Fuck off. He criminally underpays SpongeBob consistently.
Rips off. He's
Like
a cheapskate. He's a bad
he's a
crab.
cheapskate.
He's
He's
going to Davy
not
Jones'
good.
locker. Which
But
Flying
like,
Dutchman was going to do in another
yeah,
episode.
and so it's whatever. The
The,
whole last part of this movie was just a lot of just nonsense and bullshit happening,
the whole movie
and it
was
was
nonsense and bullshit happening. If
true,
I had to,
honestly.
the amount of times that they did, this is the last thing I'll say, and it's quite funny. The amount of times that they did shit that they had already done before was maddeningly frequent, to the point where literally every like 8 minutes I would turn to Merrick and I would do something. I would say the same joke, but I would adapt it to whatever's on screen. For an example, I'll use the concept of him wanting to be a big guy. I would turn to Merrick and I would say, "Hey, all right, I've got this great original idea. Imagine this: SpongeBob. He wants to be taken seriously. Everyone thinks he's a small, weak little kid, but he wants to be go on an epic quest and prove himself to be a big guy, like a man, like an adult, a grown up, and be taken seriously for once. Isn't that original? Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I'm just be
Also
like,
the
all right,
also how
Isaac,
every
hear me out.
also
I would
every
just
trial he turns into Mr. Krabs.
yeah, I don't know, but like I would literally it got funnier and funnier because it kept happening. I did that like somewhere between 8 to 12 times during the movie. I would just be like, all right, check this out. What if blah 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 blah? Isn't that original? Isn't that great? And it's literally just shit that happened in either another SpongeBob movie or another SpongeBob episode. Oh my god, we're at an hour already. We're only like we still have 2 movies left. All right. Let's head
We're
on
done
into the
bitching about
rankings.
this.
Let's head on into the rankings. I'm giving this a
Go ahead, Cal.
big farty stinky 3 out of 10. This was not good. Not good at all. This was very extremely bad.
I am also giving this a 3 out of 10. This was very, very right dog shit.
I thought
Like it
the
was very enjoyable.
I thought the last SpongeBob movie was bad, and that one was literally just a promotion for Camp Coral. I would rather watch that again, cause at least oh my god. Okay, last thing, cause I really don't like doing more rants after we do the rankings, but
Yeah.
oh my god, the celebrity cameos, even from just the last one where they had like Danny Trejo and like Keanu Reeves in there, at least they were like characters and doing shit. If you blinked too long, you would completely miss George Lopez in this movie. Why he's in
True.
this movie, I don't know, because he had his show on Nickelodeon, I guess. What is why? I don't know. It's just a mess. It's terrible. It's slop. It's just spot. It's slop. Sponge slop. Sponge slop didn't even try
SpongeBob.
pants. Terrible. All right,
Ugh.
moving on to something else. Actually, David, Isaac, take us away.
Yes. From the songs of his mother's heart to the whispers of a faithful God, David's story begins in quiet devotion when the giant Goliath rises to terrorize a nation. A young shepherd armed with only a sling, a few stones, and unshakable faith steps forward. Pursued by power and driven by purpose, his journey tests the limits of loyalty love, and courage, culminating in a battle not just for a crown, but for the soul of a kingdom.
Mm. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I enjoyed this movie greatly. This was very, very well done. I loved the animation. I loved the music. The music was great. I've
Hmm.
had Follow the Light in my head like just every once in a while, and it's a great song. The visuals in this movie were fantastic. The way they portray David himself is very, very well done.
Hmm.
Like they did such a good job portraying this very like powerful person from the Bible. It was done very well and very respectfully as well. Angel Studios rarely misses when they do stuff like this,
Yeah.
and they did a very, very good
I
job.
think this was their first like fully animated project as well, and they knocked
This
it
is
out
their
of the
first
park.
fully animated. This is their first fully animated theatrical release.
Well, yeah.
They have been doing animated series on their Angel Studios streaming service,
Hmm.
but this is their first theatrical release of a fully animated movie,
It was
and
very
it was
good,
done
very well done.
very well. I need a shout out to here. Hold on, I just got rid of it, but I need to shout out whatever animation studio was in charge of this because they did fantastically well.
Yeah.
Oh my
While
gosh,
you're looking that
I'll
up,
look it up.
um, just to point it out, one thing that I always look for in animation is hair and fur textures because those are notoriously hard to and difficult to animate. So judging on what that looks like is, you know, a good sign of how competent the animation studio is. And my goodness, did they do such a good job on that? There's one scene where Samuel is pouring the holy oil over David's head, and you can see like track the oil like as it wettens his hair and drips down, and his hair darkens, and it reacts like genuinely as it would if you know a thick viscous liquid was being poured down onto there. Like the reaction between the oil and his hair was spot on and was really like accurate.
Yeah.
Realistic is what I was looking for.
So this the animation studio is called Sunrise Animation Studios, and you've probably never heard of them before because they have literally only had four other projects that they have actually made.
Mm.
Um, and they're all like I'd even go as far to say they look like a Viva Kids movie.
Yeah,
Like
weren't like three of those like a three-part like Madagascar knockoff series?
the Jungle Beat the movie. So Jungle Beat must be a show, and then they have Jungle Beat the movie, and then Jungle Beat 2 the past, and then they have a fourth thing called Sunrise Sport, which it basically looks like the movie that's coming out later this year called Goat. It kind of
Oh,
looks like that, honestly.
yeah.
It's animals playing sport.
Yeah, sorry guys,
But
just a spoiler for the future. We're not going to go see Goat.
yeah,
It
like,
looks god
but
awful.
shout out to Sunrise Animation Studios. Literally, if you look at their website and look at all these projects and then look at David, oh my gosh, the spike in
Yeah,
quality. Probably
yeah,
because they
it
actually
looks.
have a budget behind them,
Yeah, they're just like,
honestly.
oh, thankfully we can now get some real work done.
It actually seems like they took some time off to work on this movie.
Good,
Because
paid off.
they because we first saw a trailer for this, a short like clip they made for this
Yeah, like
movie
a year
about
ago.
almost 2 years ago at this
Really.
point, I think. Yeah. But it looked very well done. But like, I just looked at their website and was looking at the images they have for it, and one of them is that original clip. It's not anywhere in the movie. It's just like a side clip they
Yeah,
made
yeah.
to make stuff for the movie, he looks different actually in that clip, and it's because it's from a while ago. So they workshopped this movie a little bit and made things look better and
Wow.
look cooler, and it was great. This movie is incredibly light in the sense of like when it is light, you can just feel it. You just get happy. It's so good. Like even the dark moments, like they hit, and then when it's followed up with like the triumphant moments, it's very well done. From a musical standpoint, this movie is great.
Yeah, I
I
get Isaac talking about musicals. Here we go. All right.
I loved it.
I
It was
know.
great.
Notoriously, I despise musicals. I don't like them at all. But
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed this one actually. Like even the music parts. Like I can stomach going to a musical. Like when you dragged me to see Spirited, you monster.
Yeah.
Uh, um, but no, like I like from the viewpoint of someone who doesn't like musicals, this worked very, very well as a musical. And all the songs were really good and really well put together and sung beautifully, if I might add.
Oh yeah. And like what's really cool is that like for the most part they got a mostly unknown like cast to be
Yeah,
in this
yeah,
movie.
like they didn't do like star power to bring in anyone at all. Like it was like every David was very successful, and like if it's still running, it still is. Like and
Yeah.
it's all just on its own stuff. Like there's no like, oh, Keanu Reeves
What's
is
cool,
Jesus.
what I love is that they did something that I love it when they do, is when they're making something that they intend to be a musical, they make sure they hire someone who's musical first and not just a good actor.
Yeah.
There was a show that came out during COVID that Netflix did. Sorry, uh, it was called Julie and the Phantoms, and while I actually quite enjoyed the show, but the thing I loved the most about it was that when they were doing the audition process, they auditioned everyone together to make sure they were good as a band first. Like they wanted them to be as believably a band as
Yeah,
possible.
I think that's if you're gonna have musical elements of a movie or show, like you can't just hire people that look good and then they like drum like shit, you know? Like you gotta actually have people who can do both. Like
Or someone who's willing to bust their ass off to make it happen. My favorite example of this is Andrew Garfield, actually. There was a movie he was in called Tick Tick Boom,
mhm.
where, long story short, he was asked if he knew how to sing by Lin-Manuel Miranda when he was casting people. Asked him how long they had till filming. He told him like a year or so, and he's like, "Yeah, I know how to sing," and then learned how to sing over the course of a year. And like that's what happened. Like you either want someone who is willing to put in the work or someone who is already talented. In this case, David, the only credits the man that played at least older David, not younger David.
Yeah.
Older David, he only has 4 credits. This movie, he was in a movie called Breakthrough as a worship leader, so he was already doing musical stuff. And the other 2 credits is he was a performer at the Charlie Kirk Memorial Service.
Mm.
Uh, and those are literally the only 4 things that he is credited for on
Yeah,
IMDb, and I think that is
they went for
amazing.
someone musical first and then brought him into that. And I think that was a really good choice for it because like honestly, he's got a great voice for what he did and it fits the character very well. Uh
The portrayal of David's story in this was phenomenally well done.
yeah. Moving on to the rankings then, I'm going to give this a very very solid 7 out of 10, which is, you know, very I've said this a lot of times, but that's pretty much like the highest I usually give a kids movie or a family, you know, like animated movie like this. Is I'll do a 7 out of 10 because after a certain point, yeah, for kids movies, it's got to be pretty damn good. to get past
Yeah.
that. You know what I say? Go on.
I'm giving this movie a pretty solid 8 out of 10 actually.
Nice.
Uh, it's very well done. It's very well put together. I almost put it. I was debating between an 8 and a 9 actually because I greatly enjoyed it. The story of David is very well portrayed, which is always nice to see. I mean, I didn't doubt that Angel Studios would do a good job, but they very much did. It was kind of they at least did a very good job of portraying his thing.
Them
Like his
as
whole thing through the movie is I'm a shepherd. I'm not like him finding out he's supposed to be the next king at a young age, but him rejecting that destiny because he sees himself as no more than a shepherd and he can't connect that that's what a king should be.
yeah,
It's kind of him like he trusts in his god, but he's also running from the destiny that's placed before him
right,
because he doesn't think he can live up to it, and then eventually stepping into that
right.
was very well portrayed in this movie.
All right, moving on to our last movie of the year. Actually,
Yes.
we have Dust Bunny. Isaac, take us away.
10-year-old Aurora asks a hitman to kill the monster she believes ate her entire family. To protect her, he'll need to battle an onslaught of assassin while accepting the fact that some monsters are real.
Okay.
So,
I will start us off, and you'll understand why in a minute. Okay.
yeah,
First point. This movie's nothing. Second of
yes,
all, the monster was okay at best. Third of all,
okay.
Sigourney Weaver, you could have skipped out on this one.
Uh,
Um, because you were terrible in it. And last point, David Desmalchin, you could skip out on this one because you're way better than this movie. I relinquish the rest of my time to Isaac. Have a nice day.
yeah. Um, this movie I was mildly interested in it because it was one of those movies that looks like it has that like like the trailer made it look like it has this like it would be one of those weird movies where like weird shit happens through the whole thing and you don't know what's real and what's not, and like that's kind of what I was getting from it. It's like
Well, in a way, that
what
is
is
what
real
you
from
get.
the what is the real from the imagination of the child versus what is real to the context of the movie, because that's
See,
what I thought it was.
you
And
couldn't
then
tell what was real or not because it was unclear, but because they just didn't say anything about it. They
yeah.
just didn't address it.
What's even worse is that like they show you these things from the girl's perspective, and then like they would show like the first moment that you have is that she sees like this little evil dust bunny like float into her room, and then like it buries itself in the like under the floorboards, and then like something weird happens and she hears something, and then her parents are gone and you don't see anything really. I mean, you see like the floor move, but like you like that could just be her imagination. She's imagining things.
Mhm.
And then they reinforce that by she follows this man that she already assumes is dangerous. And which for a kid that's wild. And then she witnesses him kill a bunch of like assassins that were sent to kill him, but because it was in Chinatown and they were wearing one of those big like dragon things with the poles and everything, she's like, "Oh, I saw you kill a dragon, so you must kill monsters. I want you to kill the monster under my bed." And that's where we got from the trailer pretty much as well.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, so what this is it's gonna be this guy tracking down the people that kidnapped and or killed her parents, and then like her like the whole movie would have these moments where the assassins would look like monsters due to shadows or smoke or all this stuff, and it would just be like this silly thing of like reality filtered through the lens of a child.
They
That's where
only
I was
did
thinking
that
this
the
would be.
one time.
Yeah, and that's
So
what
it
I was
was
hoping the whole
really
movie would be.
confusing. I thought
Yeah,
like, oh, like it was monsters disguising themselves as humans in a dragon costume, and like and like she
Yeah.
was like seeing what was the actual reality. Like it's the like Men in Black. Men in Black. They had
Yeah.
aliens disguising themselves as humans and
I
stuff,
was
and then
I
like
was the way you were describing it,
that's
the
what I
way you were
thought he was
describing
putting
it,
it.
yeah. The way you're describing it, that sounds a lot more like, and I know you never read them, but like in the Percy Jackson books, demigods can see through what is called the mist. So like they can see like these Greek threats as what they actually are, but normal humans just see
Yeah,
like
so that's what
say
I
say a
thought.
hellhound is bounding down the street, they just see a rabid dog or something like
Yeah,
that.
so that's
Like
what I
that's where
thought
I was
this was
thinking
gonna
it
be
was.
because like she saw the dragon in the shadows, but it was just like
Yeah.
people in a dragon costume in real
Yeah,
life.
it would
So I
either be
thought
she's seeing the real thing and he's not, or he's seeing the real thing and she's just imagining things.
no,
That's where I was at.
but I guess she was just crazy because that didn't happen. I guess, and that was just actually people. So what the
Yeah,
fuck was she
exactly.
seeing on the shadows? Why was that? Why did that look like a real dragon? I don't know. It's
Don't
unclear.
know, but then
Did you want to
but
know the answer to that? Too bad.
what? Yeah. But then you get to the end of the movie. By the way, this movie is like like a step and a half away from being a Wes Anderson movie with the way that it's shot.
Kinda.
Like yeah, like the dryness of the characters and like the
Oh my god,
way
everyone
like
was
people
stale
slide in
bread.
and out.
Everyone was
Like
stale
it's
bread.
very similar to the way Wes Anderson would make a movie, but just not. And because it's not Wes Anderson, you're not expecting that, so it doesn't make sense. But anyway, big surprise, big twist, big reveal. Her monster's real. There is a monster that lives under her floorboards. I actually liked it. I actually thought it was cool. I mean, I liked the biggest thing I liked about it was the way that it just kind of magically burrowed under the floorboards.
Yeah,
I thought that looked
I
cool.
like that too. Like there was that, and then there was like two standalone shots I thought were really good. Other than that, I was like, this is mad boring. Can something happen,
Also,
please?
yeah, and also that came in the last like 20 minutes of the movie.
Right, so you had to
And
sit
the
through
other
like the rest of the movie for
and
shit to
what's even
actually
worse
kick
is
in.
they set up an actually interesting thing and then the movie's over because they have this thing where it's like, so what she did was is she got mad at her parents one night, made a wish upon a star or whatever, and her
Oh
wish came
yeah.
true. She got mad at her parents and said, "I wish a monster would come and eat my parents." And then they did, and then it did. A monster manifested and ate her parents. And then as she got shuffled through the foster system, it just kept coming back and eating her new parents. Because and the guy said is like, it's not gonna eat you, it's your monster. You just have to live with it now. Like this
Oh,
is
you
so
guys,
she
it was a metaphor for trauma the whole time.
no no, she just actually has a monster that follows her
No,
now.
but as a
And
movie, it's a metaphor for trauma the whole time. Oh, Isaac, isn't that great?
I
If
I
only
guess.
if only what the fuck Jeepers Creepers didn't do an exact episode just like that.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
this, but that's an
I
actually
need your
genuinely
meat, I'm
interesting
sorry.
thing, though. That's an actual genuinely interesting thing, though.
Yeah, in universe
Like,
that's
like,
really that's interesting, but
especially because when you think about it as as it applies to the whole world,
mhm.
is that what if in this world children's wishes will just sometimes come true? So it could become this thing where they like start meeting other kids that have like made wishes that have gone awry and they are trying to learn to live with them. Like you could do a whole cool thing with
Isaac,
this.
don't give
It's
them
just
any
you didn't.
ideas for a sequel. Please.
It's just they handled this so dog shit. Like they made the twist be that her monster was real, but if they would have
That's not
made
a
that
twist.
the
We've been
focus of the
seeing the
movie,
monster the whole time.
yeah,
It was
it was
very obvious that it was real the whole time.
but it was just very. This movie ended up being very mid, very like kind of disappointing. I admit had my hopes up more than I should have for
So did
this,
I.
but
So did I. The trailer
but
looked
other than that,
interesting.
it
Go
was
watch
all
the
right.
trailer. That looks kind of cool, right?
I
Except for
guess,
Sigourney
yeah,
Weaver. She looked really weird. I didn't like her
Yeah.
high
Oh,
heel gun.
oh.
You know what that screamed to me? Argyle.
What? Yeah.
I was like, oh, that reminds me of Argyle. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Moving on.
other than that, no. This went this. We might as well go into the rankings now
Yeah.
because we haven't seen it. Set it do it. I'm. This movie gets a 5.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. I was extremely bored during the first 3/4 of this movie, and it wasn't until the last fourth that things actually started getting interesting. But then they didn't really do a whole lot with that. So literally, I would not really recommend this to anyone. In fact, as soon as this podcast is over, I will probably never even speak about this movie again.
Fair enough. I probably won't either.
Probably won't even think about it. But yeah, there it is. All right, guys, that should wrap us up for the year of 2025. Oh, we got all of these out. Next time you hear from us, we'll try to get it out sometime in the end of January or within the first half of February, but we will have our top and bottom 10s for 2025. And boy, are we excited to talk about those and list those off for you guys. As always, I've already purchased my number one movie of 2025
Yeah.
on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K HD, and adding it to my shelf of top movies. I have a shelf in my basement that is all the number one movies since we started doing this, and I can't wait to add another movie to it. So, Isaac, next time, after our top and bottom 10s, next actual podcast episode, what are we looking at, brother?
We will be looking at the new 28 years later movie, The Bone Temple, January release. But anyway,
Directed by
uh,
Nia DaCosta. Not a good sign.
yeah, and then we will also be seeing the movie Primate, Monkey
Monkey?
could be
Monkey
Monkey,
scary?
Monkey Scary.
It's got a lot of good
That's
reviews.
pretty good. No, it did. It very much did. And then after that, we will have
Greenland 2.
Greenland 2. Right. I honestly forgot about it.
Leave
The
that in.
first one was better. That just shows you how our feelings on it already.
No, don't give it away. Alright. As
uh,
always, guys, please subscribe because it keeps us motivated here and keeps us going back to the theaters and bringing these videos back here to you. And until next time, guys, that's a wrap.
roll credits.